Hello everybody, today I'm going to show you my Clevertronics 2x9 watt LED WireGuard L10 batten. Okay, now I did have a video of this active, but I'm going to be updating it with this, okay, because that video I have is not very accurate. Okay, so this is an emergency batten, of course. This was also my first WireGuard batten that I ever purchased, okay. And I think this was also my last emergency batten in this length that I purchased. I've got 4 in this length. Okay, I've got 2 bears, a diffused, and a WireGuard. Okay, now when I bought this batten, it was originally a nickel cad battery powered fitting, but that range was discontinued in 2017, so I had to upgrade it. Okay, so I upgraded it to an L10 Optimum lithium range. Okay. So this is a WireGuard batten. As you can see, it's got this WireGuard around it. So the WireGuard one is more for areas where you need a cage around the tubes to protect them from getting damaged. So areas, you know, like maybe like warehouses, basketball stadiums, okay, or anywhere, maybe even your garage or anywhere along those lines. This is where the WireGuard comes in, okay. So this is a double batten. As you can see, it's got 2 tubes, okay. But it is also available in a single as well. Okay, but this is just the double one. Now the function. Now when I got this originally, I did have it as a sustained function. So and the tubes were the emergency lamp, and it was a fluorescent. Okay, but ever since the old range got discontinued, I changed it to LED. Okay, and it's maintained function now. Okay. So, so the emergency tube used to, you know, the way sustained function works out, when the power is on, you could use the tube on one side, okay, but when the power failed, the other tube would come on, okay, that's basically the way it functions. But now it's maintained, you can use both tubes, okay. Now, with the new Clevertronics battens, they stopped using the tubes as the emergency lamp, so the emergency lamp is this here, okay. As you can see, it's got, this one here is 2 LED bulbs, so it's basically the Lifelite Pro embedded in the end cap here, okay? So, so you got 2 LEDs, okay? And they're both cool white, okay? The tubes are the same color temperature, okay? Now, so when I upgraded this, I had to purchase this, the emergency end cap, and the inverter. So it's 2 things I had to buy to upgrade it, okay? Now the Lifelite Pro you can get in a maintained function, so you can actually use it as a normal light. So this I can actually use while the power is on. Okay, that's why the batten has 3 switches. Okay, so yeah. Okay, I'll take a look at the back of it. On the back we just got these 2 wooden feet. Those are to stabilise the batten, of course, so it doesn't move around. This takes the computer cable port. Now, in this spot here was where the old test button and indicator light used to be. Okay, but I cut that section out and put the port there. Okay, now of course when I got this originally, I did originally have a fixed cord on it, but I converted it to accept a removable cord because it's more easier. Okay, so when I upgraded the batten, I converted it to have this accessory. Okay, and I upgraded this back in 2018, so it's 2 years now since I've upgraded this. Okay, so I was just going to say, oh yeah, this batten here, the LED tubes are type A. Okay, they're both made by SAL. So type A means they take a starter, but the starter's actually concealed, so you can't see them. So to get to the starter, you've got to take this plate off. Okay, so you take the plate up, and then you can get to the starters. Okay, the older battens used to be bored through, but these newer ones, it's concealed. Okay, so I guess now with this batten here, since it's maintained and I've got 3 switches, I can have 3 functions. Okay, so we'll turn it on. Okay, so that would be the emergency lamp now on. Okay, as you can see, I can use that as the as a normal light. So that will be low. I can turn on one of the tubes. That will be medium. Turn on the other tube. That will be high. Okay, so so that's what it looks like with the tubes on, and of course the emergency lamp. Get a look at it this way, as you can see there. Okay. Now this does not have the Clevertest Plus feature in it. Of course, the inverter is one of the old ones. Okay. And of course I can still test it while it's on. Okay. I've also noticed when it's on emergency mode it's a little bit brighter, but when it's on the 240 volt it's not as bright. Okay. So I'll turn this off. Alright. Now I should mention that when this is switched off, it's basically acts as a non-maintained when that's switched off. Okay. So this switch here turns that on. So it's on and off, okay? And of course, if the power fails, this would stay on, okay? But the tubes wouldn't. The tubes are 240 volts, so the tubes are not the emergency lamps, so they're just 240 volt. Okay, so the tubes will not run if there's no power. Okay, so if I disconnect the power, like pull that out, this will come on, but the tubes won't. Okay, so that's the benefit of it. And this one here, of course, is a D64. We got L10, and it's Clevertronics. Now the battery, this has two batteries. The batteries are inside the end cap, so to replace them, you just pull these two plugs out, undo two screws, and this cover drops down, and then you can get to the batteries inside. Okay, so I guess what I'll do now is I'll take the wire guard off. Okay, I'm gonna need both hands for this. Okay, what I can do is pull one of these ends off. These ends just come right off. Now the wire guard can come off. Okay. Okay, and that's what it looks like without the wire guard on. Okay, and of course without the end cap on. Okay, now the diffused and wire guard ones, the plate has these little shanks here that line up with the wire guard. The wire guard and the diffuser sits into those shanks. Okay, as where the bare battens, you don't have that. All right. So now what we'll do, okay, is I'll turn this upside down. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take this plate off and look inside the chassis of the batten. So take the tubes out, just rotate them and slide them out. And then what you do is you unscrew this, turn it anti-clockwise. Then that comes off. Okay, but just be careful not to lose that. Okay, where did it go? Yep. Don't lose that. Okay. Now what you need to do is you need to depress these on the lamp holders. Okay, and now you can lift the plate up. Okay, now the plate comes up. Okay, and here's what's inside the chassis of the batten. Okay, so here we have our inverter right here. This is a Lifelite Pro inverter, of course. Okay, but this is what these battens use. Okay, and this is a maintained function, of course. It's the part number is LLife-M Pro-SA-C kit. And this is not cheap. This thing I had to pay around $300 for. The price of it has gone down since, but once again, it's not a cheap part because of the function. We have the cord here. This cord here connects to the to this part, and then this red and black one connects to the batteries inside. Okay, we have our power port right there. Okay, the blue wire is neutral, the brown is live, and the green is the earth, of course. Okay, and we also have this. This is some sort of filter, inline filter. I don't know what it does, but it's just a part that I put in there. Okay, I don't know what it's supposed to do. Maybe it's supposed to help increase the life of your tubes or something. I'm not too sure. And then we have our terminal block here. Okay. Now, of course, this white wire you see here is the switched live. That allows you to, that's going to the switch here. Okay, and that switches the that on and off while there's power. The brown one is the unswitched live. Okay, so that one remains on at all times. Of course, here we have our two starters. Of course, to change them, you take the plate off, and then you can twist it and replace them. Okay, and there's the sticker down there. It tells you what type to use. Okay, so this one has two starters because there's two tubes, right? Okay, and that's basically all that's inside the body. Okay, you can probably hear the inverter making a humming sound. Okay, all right, so now we'll put the batten back together. To put it back together, it's quite easy. What you do is you put the plate back on, you line it up on one end. Be sure that those two little lips here hold onto it, and then what you do on this end, you push it until those little lips pop up. Okay, those two little lips there on the lamp holders. Now what we do is we screw this down. Okay, now this plate does have these little holes because it did come with screws, so you can actually screw the wire going on, but a lot of people probably don't use that, okay, to be perfectly honest. Now we put our tubes in. Okay, now take note with these tubes, this part here, you want that facing the plate. Okay, so you want that facing that way. Okay, because if you put the tube in the wrong way, you know, like that, it's not going to work right. So be sure you put it in the right way. Okay, now being type A, it doesn't matter which way you put these in, but I like to put them in a certain way. Okay, now we put the wire guard on, we slide that back on. Now I'm going to need both hands to clip the end cap back on. And then we get our end cap and just clip it back on. Whoop. Here's if I can avoid dropping the camera. Okay. Whoop. Sorry, what I'll do is I'll just lean the iPad down like that. Then you just push the end cap back into place. And there you go, the batten's all back together. Okay? So that's how you reassemble it. Okay? Okay, a little tip, don't ever lean cameras against these when you're trying to put them back together, because you are bound to make it fall over, and just glad that didn't crack my screen. Okay, so that's basically it. Okay, now you can flick the switch, and away you go. So that is my Clevertronics L10 2 double 9 watt LED wire guard batten. So I hope you enjoyed, and that'll be it.